Welcome to session 3. In the previous session, we spoke about stage 2, which is your early reboots. Today, we're going to talk about stage 3. Now, stage 3 can be considered to be the midway point where you've already made a commitment to your long-term reboot or recovery, and you're ready to start taking action. So one of the first things that we focused on earlier was helping you recognize and take control of your behaviors and habits. Then you moved into a place of acceptance of your problem and the fact that you can overcome it. So now it's time to move into taking more action. And you're at a point where you know you're heading in a new direction, but it can also be overwhelming at stage 3 because you're moving away from everything you've known. And the way we help you through this is by addressing and developing a new approach to your lifestyle. And this process starts during stage 3. Let's start with some of your goals for this stage. The first goal would be developing a brand new identity as a man. The second will be balancing areas of what we call your reboot or recovery capital, which is a very, very important part of this lifestyle course. So how are you going to go ahead and accomplish these things? When it comes to developing a new identity, you can consider the mid-reboot as the beginning of your new life. Like, sure, you've made some progress during stage 1 and stage 2, but a lot of that was about acceptance. Even though you need recognition and acceptance, you're not going to make any progress if you don't take action. And step 3 is the place where all that action actually begins. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to be successful in your reboot or recovery, you have to create a new identity. And this is where I ran into some problems with some of the other approaches out there that you might be familiar with, such as 12-step groups. Now, in the 12-step groups, you develop a new identity, but that identity centers entirely around the recovery program. So your identity becomes that of a recovered addict, like, hello, my name is JK, and I'm an addict. So you see, my identity is based on my past behavior. And what that does is that it keeps you tied to that behavior. It takes a lot of effort to change your identity. So what we do in a program like ours is we make sure that it is centered, your identity is centered around being a successful individual. In the past, you may have been introverted, angry, or a loner. Maybe you lack control over your emotions, or you always felt stressed out and overwhelmed, or you simply blamed everything on your high sex drive. But after moving through stage 1 and stage 2, you now realize that was all brought about by your compulsive behavior. So now it's time to develop a new identity. Now, I'm not going to give you a new identity though, and neither is this system. Instead, what I'm going to do is guide you along the path to developing your own identity based on a new self-image. And your self-image is your personal idea of who and what you are. I don't need you to become a carbon copy of everybody else who goes through this program. So we're going to focus on the things that makes you a successful individual in your own right. The next key to success to getting through stage 3 is balancing different areas of what we call your reboot capital. Now, earlier on, you heard me mention the term reboot or recovery capital. Now, just like a new business owner needs capital, a certain amount of cash resources in order to start and maintain a business before that business becomes profitable, a man who is rebooting or a man who is going through the recovery process needs similar amounts of capital in different domains of his life. And the reason why he needs this is that through the process of your out of control sexual behavior, you are depleted in different areas of your life. And you know what areas that you're struggling in. For some, it might be that your relationship is falling apart. For others, you might not know how to identify certain emotions, or you might be numb to certain emotions. For others, your health might not be the best due to your out of control behavior. And for others, this might have affected you financially. And so one of the things that we do in stage 3 is identify the areas of your life where we need to build up capital in, and we begin to work on that. As you can see, this system isn't just about controlling your out of control behavior. It's also about becoming a better person as a whole. It's a holistic approach. And so building and balancing different areas of your reboot capital is a key part of this process. Balancing your reboot capital is not a one-time thing though. It's an ongoing process throughout your reboots. But stage 3 is where you actually start identifying those areas in your life, the areas where you want to invest in your reboot capital. And you might find that spending dedicated time in the gym every day is an aspect that strengthens your physical reboots. Maybe you enjoy building out a deeper morning routine, something we like to call recovery time, where you get centered for the day, where you anchor yourself for that day. Or you might find that spending time with people who share common interests is something that helps you feel stronger in your reboots. Stage 3 is also the time for you to explore various areas of your life that you neglected before. It's about finding which parts make you feel most like yourself and incorporating these into your new identity. Stage 3 is about starting the process of balancing these different areas instead of becoming too invested in any one part. The next key to success in stage 3 is recognizing the potential for relapse. So stage 3, your mid-reboot, is when the opportunity to relapse becomes a reality. Relapsing at any point during stage 1 and 2 is always a possibility, but you're still early in the process. Stage 3 is when you start making forward progress, which increases the impact of relapses on your life. And understanding the causes of relapses that arise at this point can be very helpful. The next key to success to stage 3 is understanding withdrawals. Now, men using this system usually experience withdrawal symptoms during the first 6 weeks. That's when they have the tendency to be most intense. Recognizing that you're still in the withdrawal phase will help you become a lot more aware of potential relapses. The next key to success in stage 3 is behavior change. Now, you're going to experience significant behavioral changes during the first 2 months of using this program. And honestly, sometimes it's hard for your mind to keep up with a lot of the incredible changes that you're making with your behavior. So often your self-image can't keep up. And what I mean is that you're still going to sometimes see yourself or perceive yourself as just a guy who still views pornography, even when in reality, as you go through this program, your behavior doesn't match up with that mindset. And that's okay. Just be aware of this at stage 3. And finally, for stage 3, we have social pressure. As you progress through your mid-reboot or mid-stage of your recovery, and you start spending more time with people and coming out of isolation, you might find yourself around people who perhaps aren't the best influence on you. These could be people whom you've been friends with for years. They might not appreciate the drastic changes that you're making in your life. This could create some distance between you and old friends, or perhaps even the loss of these relationships completely. So prepare yourself for the possibility of maybe losing old friends, but recognize that for the most part, you're still moving in the right direction without them. The next stage that we're going to be talking about is stage 4, and stage 4 is known as the late reboot stage.